It's round 10. We're so close to the end of what's been a epic, amazing season. Welcome everyone to Brazil, the Brazilian Grand Prix here in pole position racing. And of course, my name is Brad, and I am joined by the beautiful, wonderful, amazing Syntax. Syntax, good evening, and how are you?
Oh, stop it, Bradley. Welcome, everybody, and I'm doing very good. Today we have amazing race in Brazil. As you mentioned, not so far until the end of the season. Many questions still. We waiting for the answer. Who will win the main championship, and of course, uh, aspect of the constructor championship. We have to wait. How many? 3, 4 races, something like this.
3 races to go, including today, to find out who will be crowned Season 9 pole position racing champion, and all eyes are on this Red Bull driver right here on screen. Graxent currently leading the championship, currently sitting in a very prime position to find himself ahead. Of course, his main competitor right now in the championship is Jack. Jack missing today due to family emergency. We hope everything's okay there. But that does open the door for Graxent to try to move his way forward. But Brazil is a very tricky track, Syntax, as I'm sure you can attest and agree with me on.
Oh, of course, and especially that, if I remember correctly, uh, almost every time when we were racing in Brazil, there was something connected with the rain. Maybe today we will see a dry race in Brazil. We'll see, but the climate in the Brazil, we know that uh, it might be changing. So I hope for the rain, because as a show, it's a longer time we didn't see proper raining on the track, because what's happened last week, I still cannot believe it, to be honest, because it was like raining but not.
Yeah, it's been weird, some of the weather things we've had going on here this season, but it's been nice to kind of see that mix up, but really confusing at the same time. And of course, any sort of wet weather in Brazil produces some great action. Graxit should be comfortable either way. Of course, Graxit won this race in season 1 and season 2. Cashty winning season 7. So those drivers are the ones to keep the eye on, Graxent and Cashty. But Tazo currently up there with a 108.6. This is one of the shortest, fastest laps that we have on the F1 calendar. So I'm expecting extremely competitive qualifying. 108.347 from Graxent to start things off and keep things moving up. And I will say, Syntax, that should be a good race all the way around, depending on where the drivers land. And we do, of course, have 2 more drivers joining us after they serve their qualifying bans today. So we'll put
Yes,
18 drivers on the grid when it's all said and done.
it's pretty good result, I would say, especially that we are closing to the end of this season, and times that we have in qualifications right now between Baran and Graxent. I'm supposed that I think that we will have more times like this, but being a more competitive, reaching less than 108, high 107 will be a really good to see, actually, on the track. I would like to see Baran, Graxen, maybe John Meister, maybe Kashti, but we can clearly see that some drivers are struggling a little bit, going with the outside of the track, and we're still waiting for a few drivers until they will have their own hot lap.
Yeah, the times are really close to the field, and I anticipate as this qualifying session goes, the times will continue to come down. Dormati currently on a push lap, looking fairly good there in the Scarlet Ferrari, doing very good lap times around at the moment, and seems fairly comfortable here on this track. But of course, Brazil is one of those tracks that as an F1 driver, you really need to just be able to put down consistent laps and
Yes.
be very comfortable with. And it's always interesting to me when we get to those tracks that are considered the staple circuits here in F1 because you can really tell what drivers are comfortable and what drivers aren't with those big name tracks. And Dormati 108.299, so a very, very comfortable lap indeed.
Yeah, and next one, who is not in the pit lane, not in the box, is Wasserfan, who just started his own hot lap. Very risky at the beginning. He cut really hard this second turn, but somehow he avoid going outside of the track. But right now he
Oh!
crashed and he kissed the wall. Hopefully it will be only finishing with changing front wing, nothing else. And this situation like this is much better because you are still able to participate in the qualifications. So it's a really good situation for Wasser. I hope he will find a possibility to find his best time. And this shows us exactly what you were talking about previously about very tricky track. And yeah, Brazil is in this kind of tracks, especially turn 4, turn 8, I believe, when you can lose grip very easily.
Yeah, there's several moments in the track, but that middle sector is really where I think we're going to see drivers either
Yes.
succeed or struggle. Especially as we watch Jalajne, who is on an outlap right there, and that right-hander, where we've seen many real-life wrecks happen. I think it's going to be a moment there as well. Jalajne purple first sector, Jalajne purple middle sector, and I believe Jalajne is going to do what Jalajne does and bring it into a top spot here as he comes down the main straight, holds the left side wall, and it's a 108.134. So just improving on Baron's time. Barthez is out of the session, and that means we have 15 drivers left to compete for the top spot. But Jalajny putting in a impressive time there from the McLaren driver.
Deba with purple second sector, and he is improving almost half of the second. So we will see him jumping a lot of positions in front, but we will see where he. Oh, not that much. Seventh place.
Still good improvement.
Buchek finishing. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Still good improvement there from Debe. Definitely one to keep your eyes on. Ashley still doesn't have a lap in, which is kind of surprising to me.
It looks like he cannot find his proper pace right now. Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hello, Kashki. Thank you for joining Pole Position Racing. Looking forward to seeing you on the track. Graxon is up half a tenth through the first sector. Currently going through the middle sector. What can Graxon secure the championship this weekend? I haven't done the math on it, Syntex, but do you think he can get enough of a gap this weekend to secure the championship?
As far as I know, he is able to do that. But if he, well, I mean, like mathematically, he's Baran 107.9. So this is what I said before. Amazing times. Yeah, but about Graxent, mathematically he have a huge chances, but I believe he will need to take everything what he have, his whole talent, and push as much as he can. Right now, it doesn't look promising because he's on the 6th place. We know that this track especially is one of the most favorite track from Graxent. So I believe he will be fighting for winning for podium today. But right now, of course, the time gaps between the drivers are like significant. But this significant change show us how it could looks like in the race. So it might be a really tough fight, or maybe another walk in the park, as we've seen many times from Graxent.
Yeah, he has the challenge in front of him, and it's really going to be up to him on if he can do it or not. Looking at kind of trying to break things down here for where he's at. He's got, as it stands, a 23-point lead on John Meister, a 36-point lead on Jack. So mathematically, Graxent, John Meister, Jack are the three. With 2 races left, he would need to go in with a 50-point lead into the final 2 races. And that does mean that he has to win today with fastest lap to try to secure things out this weekend, even though mathematically he won't. But then John Meister would have to P1 fastest lap and hope that Graxent doesn't finish the last 2 races, which, based on history, isn't exactly something I'm expecting. So it seems like it's in the bag, but any driver can have a bad weekend, especially with Brazil. It just takes one small error, lose the grip, and somebody hit you, and then it is race over. And we've seen that happen many times, Syntax. Many times.
Yeah, of course, and I'm fully agree with that. And I need to admit that we have plenty of situations when we have already we already know who will be champion of current season. But right now, it's not that clear because it's like 3 races until the end, and it still might change everything, right? Of course, today's Jack's absence might be very crucial for winning for any points, but there are some things that have bigger. I'm missing a word.
Trying to think, have bigger like consequences.
No. I mean, like, health is much important. Oh, important is that the word. Some situations are much more important than our weekends together spent, of course.
That is very, very true. Jalajne went purple middle sector, but then went into the pits. I'm very confused as to what just happened there with him. Kashti is coming through the middle sector, purple middle sector for Kashti. Possibly can improve above Baron. Graxon's got himself up into 3rd place. John Meister's on an outlap, and 5 minutes left to go in qualifying, Syntax. And Kashti's into the pits again. What is happening? Why are drivers going purple and then pitting?
Maybe because of the fuel that they have not enough to go for the outlap or in-lap, sorry. So that it will take much more time for them, so they are not risking to do that. But Graxen also is pushing right now on the hot lap. We're still waiting that he will improve his time. He will be finishing 2nd sector, and we'll see that it will be purple or not. We can see that there are 25 seconds. Oh, no. Graxen is going to the pit lane.
Baron goes purple middle sector, 107.8. Okay. That was significant. And Graxent comes around straight into the pit lane, and Baron, the only driver in the 107s. 4 minutes left to go, and I think we're about to get a very, very busy racetrack, which is going to keep us busy here for a few minutes, Syntax, but should be fun. Debe's coming around. He is 8 tenths down through the middle sector, so I would imagine that he is going into the pits here as well.
Yep.
And there we go. Debe's into the pits, and that Kushor invalidated a lap. Wasserschwein is going through the 1st sector right now. Maverick is in the pit lane, and Frantic is coming out of the middle sector, 3 tenths down. 3 minutes left to go here now. And if you factor in about a minute to a minute and a half for an outlap, I would expect to start seeing drivers hit the track anytime now. And there it is with, it looks like possibly Kushor, or no, sorry, Myros, the first driver to come out of the pits to set things up. Wasserschwein invalidating his lap, and Myros in the Aston Martin will kick off our final laps of qualifying here, Syntax. And It is truly going to be a battle of the Red Bulls, the Alfa Romeo, and
Hmm.
possibly the McLaren and Ferrari in the mix, along with Mercedes. Just we'll call it the top six. All have a very, very good chance at getting that pole
Exactly.
position if they can get down those few tenths to match Baron.
Yeah, exactly. Dormati and Graxent and Kashti will be pushing as much as they can because they are so close to Baran, and I believe they would like to break that 1:08 time. But will they will be able to? Are they? Oh my God! Never mind. Uh, Is there any chance for them to achieve that? Kasti just started his another, I would say, final hot lap, less than 2 minutes until the end of the qualification session. Yellow flag in second sector, and also in the first one, we can see that there was a Graxent, and he was making a little bit more space for Kasti. Kasti entering in the second sector. Um, this lap is very, very important. So both Kashti, Graxent, and Dormati, and as you said, Żelazny and John Meister will need to push as much as they can. Um, I'm afraid because on Brazil the limits are really, really tight. If you want to push and if you will make mistake, the border is really, really tight.
Track limits can play a part, and then of course traffic at this point. Watching all the drivers come through, Kashti coming across the line, 108.011. He's actually down 7/100, so that will be his last chance to try to qualify through. Dormati going into the second sector here, going through again the most challenging technical part of this Brazilian countryside track, and we'll see how Dormati can make things land. Jalajne, Baran, and Graxon are still on their outlaps. John Meister has started a push lap and is currently going through the first sector here. Dormati, as he comes around the middle sector, we'll see where this middle sector time lands. Middle sector, he is down by half a tenth, so possibly
Ooh.
not enough time, and he spins. So Dormati will find himself possibly P4 if he's lucky and nobody else's times change. John Meister coming through the middle sector. He's up a tenth and a half through the first, so that will put him on level with Kashti at the moment. And he purples the middle sector. He's now up 2 tenths. He's got more time to find. Checker flag has fallen. Buchek, Kushor, Maverick locked in their places. And as we watch John Meister come across the line, John Meister is going to come through, and will it be down into the 107s? It is going to come across the line, and he is going to bring us a 107.878, just close to the time that Dermati retires out and calls it. Next car to come through is going to be Graxent. Graxent was purple middle sector. He's up over a tenth and a half here, and Graxent will hug that white line all the way down, hold the line against the wall. Graxent comes across 107.892, so not enough to beat John Meister either. So he will find himself there in P3. Baran, next car across the line, but Baran already has the time. 107.811 is what Baran has on the grid. Kashti doesn't improve. Jalajne doesn't improve. So that, with the exception of, it looks like Wasserschwein, who is finishing a lap, and then Franek just finished his lap. I think that's our qualifying done here, Syntax.
Mm-hmm. It is done. Uh, Really aggressive end, I would say, from our top six drivers, and it shows how much they wanted to earn the best place as they can. Graxen not enough, but I would say starting on the P3 from Brazil is he will be in a very good spot because there is a place for attack in the first corner.
Yeah, the first couple of corners always prove a big challenge and give plenty of room for passing opportunities. The first two corners, first three down into turn four, really, that whole first section of the track proves to give good passing opportunities and lots of good challenge. Everybody stick around here. We will be right back, and then we will bring you some great racing action here from Brazil. All right. And as we wait for the drivers to get their setups selected, get their strategies programmed, and get ready to go here, and then, of course, we have the wonderful formation lap We get ready for 36 laps of action here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. And Syntax, what is the strategy we expect? Are we thinking one stop, two stop? Are we thinking throw strategy out of the window and just wait on safety cars?
As always in PPR, expect unexpected. But in like default, I believe drivers should be stick with one pit. I'm not sure about softs to mediums, but it makes more sense for me from mediums to hards or hards to mediums. We will see what AWS will set in a moment.
And as far as what tires the drivers are on, if my game will load, it is soft tires for Wasserschwein, mediums for most of the field, hard tires for John Meister, Myros, Maverick, and Kula, which is a very weird variety. I think Wasserschwein truly is the odd one out there on the softs. Probably thinking of a two-stop strategy if I had to guess, and we'll see how that plays out for Wasserschwein. Starting there in P13, he'll have a lot of pace early on, and then we'll see how things go. Baran is leading the field around here for this formation lap. Gives the drivers time to get the heat up in their tires, get comfortable with the track, kind of get things sighted in, and really just get their head in the game and get ready to go. And there is our AWS strategy. Hard to medium or medium to soft. That seems backwards from what I would expect.
Yep. So, as I mentioned, it is like ideal strategy for the drivers. But for me, it was pretty hard to start on the hards because I was almost always losing a lot of time at the beginning of the race. So I believe Wasserschwein decided to go with the softs because maybe he will be trying to chase a lot at the beginning. And from AWS, it said like it will be able to drive on the softs until from 21 to 23 laps with the pit window. But it is how it is, and we will see how it will works.
I personally don't expect the soft tires to last that long, but I also expect us to have a safety car within the first 10 laps.
Yeah.
So we'll hold our breath and see. Of course, I mentioned it last week. Admin did change the rules down to reduce safety cars to try to alleviate those safety car issues, and Baran disqualified from the formation lap along with Dave. Basically, that just means they overshot their grid box, but they will still, of course, be involved in the race. So as we wait on Velix to grid up here, the last driver, and now we face the fun of Brazil of trying to find a good camera angle for the race start. So we'll set things up here. It is going to be 5 red lights. And we are underway here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And right away, John Meister gets a very good jump off the line there against Baran. But he is, of course, on the hard tires, but he's on the inside. Everybody seems to be coming through. I don't see any drivers going off. No big wrecks. They're 3 wide there in the back. Oh, there's some carbon fiber going through. And that was, I believe, Dormati who got caught out, or possibly Cashti. I think it was actually Cashti, not the Ferrari. But up in front, you can see John Meister holding onto that P2, Baran in P1, and there it is, some contact between Cashti and Graxit. Graxit runs wide there through the left-hander of turn 4, and as we go through into the middle sector, the 3 wides have sorted themselves out, but that was an Aston Martin off into the grass, and that was, of course, Myros, and Myros very, very frustrated with how that ended up. I don't actually know how he ended up there, but he took out one of the barriers, but he's back underway. No harm, no foul. Hula and Dormati and Frantic are providing some very good battles here. And again, side by side, back in the back. But up front, it is the Baran show with John Meister close behind, but Jalajne putting a lot of pressure there for the lead. And Syntax, I think we're about to have 36 laps of a lot of action if lap 1 is anything to go off of.
Yeah, definitely. There was a contact at the beginning between Kashti and Graxen. Graxen was pushing out Kashti and closing him doors on the inside on the second turn. And that's why Kashti just had to go to changing the front wing because it was broken. And that carbon fiber that was flying around, it was from Kashti's car. The second accident was between, I believe it was Myros and Graxent. Myros just, there was a contact between them, and I don't know what happened. Maybe there was a mistake by trying to avoid early braking from Graxent. I don't know, but that's why Myros spun out. Nevertheless, second lap, so far so good. Nothing bigger happened. As you mentioned, it's like a Baran show right now. Almost a one, yeah, it's over 1 second right now in front of the John Meister, but Żelazny and Tazo are still on his back. Graxen losing 2.2 seconds to Tazo. Baran with the fastest lap of this race. 1 minute 11.0 DRS enabled, so now we can begin the battle.
Zelazny getting a very, very good run down the main straight there against John Meister, getting right by him with the help of Slipstream, and now with the help of DRS, he's going to go around the outside of Baran here, and there we go, side-by-side action, going into this hard left-hander of turn 4, and Zelazny purple first sector with the help of DRS, but Baran able to hold him off, making that Red Bull just a little bit wider than an F1 car really should be, and able to hold off Baran there, or able to hold off Zelazny there and stay ahead, and there's another Aston Martin spinning again in the left-hander. That was Kuchler this time who has spun, and unfortunately is going to drop back a bit here. But it is Baran, Zelazny, John Meister bringing the big battles. And of course now introduce Tazo to the mix. Graxent, who is currently 2 seconds back from this battle in the top 4, but having the battle of his own day with Debe and Barthez very, very close behind. But Syntex, front 4, really are going to have to push each other around, and John Meister is going to be the big issue for Tazo with those hard tires. And those hard tires should start coming into life soon.
Yeah, but we know that John is also a very good driver, so maybe he learned that much about hard compounds, so maybe he will find an optimal driving style for them. We'll see. He is very close right now and still able to handle with the pace, so I don't see a reason just to start with the mediums, even that hard compounds are able to live longer on the track. So this is also a very, very important aspect. Right now, Dormati loses the grip and he kissed the wall. That turn number 1, 2, 3, I believe it's 4. It looks like it's really difficult for some of the drivers, and right now Kashti overtaked under the yellow flag, I believe, or maybe it was finishing. But Dormati have some problems. I believe it's because of the setup. It looks like his sorry. It looks like his wheels are overheated right now.
Yeah, Brazil is a tricky track to get the setup right on, and you wouldn't think it is, but it presents some unique challenges to set up the car correctly for this track. Zelazny, look at the battle for the lead here. Zelazny takes a dive to the right-hand side. He's going to try to go around the outside here, but he has the pass done before turn 4. And now Zelazny in the McLaren is in the lead, and he is going to try to just set off for a good run. Graxent's starting to get in the mix for this top 4, as he is now 1.1 seconds off of Tazo, and that will start to introduce this 4-way battle into a 5-way battle for the lead. And of course, remember, John Meister and Graxent are top 2 contenders right now for the Drivers' Championship, and really, really going to be pushing each other all the way through to see who can come out ahead. Another yellow flag, Sector 1, I believe that is Dormati, yet again spinning there. So some serious issues in that Ferrari car indeed. If you are a Ferrari fan, I am sorry, for it is not a good day to be a Ferrari fan.
As always, nothing new. So I used to that. Right now, we've seen that John Meister have some snap moment going on the last turn, but it's not that big issue because he is still in the DRS range. But we cannot say that about Graxent. Right now, over less than a second, but he is still out of DRS section. So even if he gets closer, somehow in the second sector, he is losing that very, very important time. Meanwhile, Kula overtakes Bartes and he is currently on the 7th place and he is chasing Debe. Right now 2.2 seconds, and I believe if he will be able to control his pace as he is doing right now, he will jump into the top 6.
He absolutely should be able to, and he's looked very, very strong watching the timing charts all the way through. It's been fun to watch, and I think another big thing to note is look at that, Jalajne over a second up on Baran already. Another spin for Dormati there in that first sector. Very, very frustrating to see for him, and hopefully he will be able to recover back soon. I think it is just genuine tire overheating at this point that's just kind of producing some issues, but nevertheless, top 4, top 5, soon to be top 6, battling it out here for the lead. Of course, DRS train starting to form here in Brazil, and the drivers are just trying to hold on to it as much as they can. We are lap 7 of 36 here at Sao Paulo, and a track that can produce many, many good battles, many, many good moments here in pole position racing, and Baran trying to produce half a second to try to get his way past Jalajne and hold on. John Meister's tires seem like they're starting to come in, Syntax, as John Meister is staying very, very close there to Baran and Jalajne. So I think the mediums might be degrading a little bit faster than we expected.
Oh yeah, we've seen a moment from Baran. He almost spun out. So they are ghosting right now. A little bit better exit from Baran, but John Meister with an amazing opportunity to jump into the 2nd place and start chasing Żelazny using DRS right now. John Meister without any issues, but Tazo is joining to this fight for the top 3 right now and going wheel to wheel with Baran, but Baran have a better line right now. Close him. That was very, very close and very dangerous, but Graxen is already on the back of Tazo. He already chased him. He was so close to attack Baran, and I don't know what's happened, but it looks like Graxen pushed out of the track his own teammate. If you want to win the championship, you would not do that like this.
I almost wonder if it was Graxent pushing Baran or Baran just full-blown giving way. Because that was a weird moment there in an unusual spot. But you can tell Graxent's very, very hungry to try to get the win today. But I'm sure there will be a steward's investigation after the race for that moment there. And of course, if you want to be involved here in pole position racing, see the results of everything, the Discord is the best place to join. Do exclamation Discord in the chat, or just go ahead and click on the link in the video description, and you can be involved, get on the track, and race with some of your favorite pole position racing drivers. Look at this, Baran battling it back up the inside of Tazo into turn 1, and it looks like Baran and Tazo side by side, a little bit ahead though, and Tazo does give the position up there. So Baran now into P4, and now Baran's challenge is that it's his teammate ahead of him, the current championship leader. Is he gonna let Graxent have that position? Because it does seem like Baran has a little bit more pace than Graxent today, which is not the normal thing for us to say.
Oh yeah, fully agree. But it's good to see that both of Red Bulls are able to drive with amazing results. And of course, I don't know any driver that will be feeling very comfortable on every single track. Maybe Graxent love Brazil Grand Prix, but we have to remember that game also changed a few things, so this also might be a very important thing to know. But Baran in the DRS zone to Graxent, 10th lap we just started. He is not able to chase that close to Graxent. Tazo is still trying to attack on Baran 0.3 of a second behind the Baran, so maybe there will be a chance right now. We have some yellow flag in the 2nd sector, and it's Debe kissing with the wall. But I've never seen... Oh, it wasn't 2nd sector, I'm sorry, it was like 2nd turn, but we have, because of that, virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car deployed here, lap 10, and it doesn't really look like there's any drivers that are in a good position to take advantage of it, which It's very unfortunate because I would say some of these medium runners would like to try to pit and go ahead and get on to a set of hards and run to the end. We're lap 10 of 36, so 26 laps to go now. And I'm curious about what race strategy might be. Of course, Debe is going to have to pit because Debe is completely missing that front wing. But look at Jalajne with 3.5 seconds the gap here. And being able to pretty much hold that gap consistent through. It's starting to close in a bit, of course, because of the VSC. Now it's down to 2 seconds, so it looks like Jalajne going fairly slow, trying to keep that delta time down as best as he can. And does he dive? Nobody's diving into the pits that I can see here from our race leaders.
And we're back.
Is over. And here we go, Syntax, because it looks like Jalajne lost over a second from his lead during that VSC period. And I think it was just he was going slow. Somebody's into the pits, and that is, as expected, Debe into the pits there. And he is, of course, going to be getting a new front wing. And we'll see what tires Debe opts to go on to here.
Yeah, no, we're still waiting for changing the tires on Debe, and it's hard. And John Meister are earning the time actually on this hard compound. It's like quite understandable that the mediums are like in the halfway until the changing moment of the tires, but maybe John Meister will be able to use this situation as an advantage, because if he will be able to close enough to Jalajne, maybe overtake him, he will be in a much better position. Maybe some undercut. In the situation of John Meister, I wouldn't be undercutting, because hearts will be able to last a little bit longer than mediums.
Absolutely, and the big thing is the mediums will degrade faster. As you said, they last longer, but as the mediums degrade, the hard tires will kind of come into their own. But again, John Meister, 2.7 seconds now the gap against Jalajne, and Graxon's starting to gain back a little bit. Baron's starting to gain back a little bit. But we're seeing something unique here. Tazo's gaining a little bit in that it seems like the drivers are having a harder time getting passes done than they normally do on track, which is really weird to see. I'm used to seeing the drivers pass a lot easier than they are, and I don't know if it's just the nature of Brazil or if it's just the drivers are so evenly matched this week. But it's producing some very good racing. I will give it that, Syntax. It is producing some very good racing here at just over a third distance on this nice race weekend.
Exactly. Especially that we, like, 12 laps have a constant battle between John, Graxon, Baran, and Tazo. They are really close to each other, and I believe we will see that fight until the end of this race. But I'm waiting for a moment that some of these drivers will decide to make maybe some riskier move. I would say maybe a higher usage of a battery. We'll see. John Meister is now attacked by Graxon. They are still wheel to wheel, and the situation right now might be very dangerous. Graxon I believe there was a slightly small contact between them, but nothing bigger happened. Maverick overtook Myros, and we can clearly see that they are fighting also very hard almost since the beginning. So there's also a very good fight. But the other drivers right now, there's not that much distance between Vassar and Kushor, but the rest situation looks like it's calming down a little bit.
Yeah, things are through the field are really spread out, which is, again, unusual to see the field so spread out so quickly here. But I don't see anyone that's a lap down that I can tell here. So no lap cars yet. And that is very good to see. Although it looks like Dormati won't be far off going a lap down based on the timings and how things look here. But the battle is still raging between John Meister and Graxon and Baran. They are still fighting very, very hard here for P2. And of course, Graxic needs to kind of get going and try to catch up to Jalajne. I believe that is the other Williams of Barthez that is spun. And Barthez has spun and has lost his front wing. And another VSC deployed here, Syntax. Will we see any drivers take advantage of the VSC in pit? I see Simon, I see Kushor in. But will our leaders make it around the second sector up to the main straight fast enough to take advantage of this VSC and get a cheap pit stop?
Exactly. I don't know why, but Maverick just received a 5-second time penalty because of ignoring the yellow flag. Maybe Dormati will be able to catch out a little bit the rest of the drivers. We can clearly see that he's struggling a lot today. We know that he is a very fast driver, but I believe it's all about the setup and those spins and cold or maybe overheated wheels are not helping a lot. DRS is enabled, and we can see that Baran and Tazo decided to go to the pit lane. We will see the strategy that they will decided to make Baran on the hards and Tazo also on the hards. So Buciek with a 5 seconds time penalty because of the spinning into pit lane. But Baran and Tazo fall down to the P6 and P7. There's a Maverick coming out next to the exit of the pit lane, but it will not change the situation on the track.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Baran and Tazo, they did not get the cheap pit stop under the VSC, because right as they hit the pit line, the VSC ended. So they did not get to save any time, which possibly would have put them out in front of Frantic, which would have been very good for them, because they need to clear this McLaren very, very quickly to continue to move forward. Blajne, Grax, and Jawmeister going up the main straight here. Will any of our top three decide to pit now here as we go into lap 15? It looks like they are continuing to stay out. So bit of a gamble on strategy there from Alfa Romeo and from Red Bull, but you can see Baran on those brand new hard tires still looks very, very racy, trying to get around Frantic. As we go up the main straight, I believe Baran should be able to do it here. Around the outside, will he bring Tazo with him, or will Tazo get stuck behind? It looks like Tazo will be left behind as we run into turn one here. And now Baran really just needs to get things going. Oh, look at that Tazo up the inside into turn one. A very, very good move coming from Baran and Tazo. And the battle behind them, very, very strong as well for P8. So Baran and Tazo now need to close up about 10 seconds of a gap to Kula to try to catch up with those front three.
Yeah, and Kashti was able to pick up himself, and almost from the P17 right now to coming back for the P8, fighting for a really good point is also very important. So good to see that Kashti was able to with the fast recovery and coming back for the fights. But yeah, as you said, Kula, John Meister, Graxent, and Железny still fighting. Kula is losing 10 seconds to John Meister, and the second biggest time gap on the track is between Bartes and Buciek, P15 and P14, 12 seconds. The rest of the drivers are holding really good, I would say, but right now Железny will be trying to attack Graxen, and he done it. Baran with the fastest lap of this race on the hard compound, which makes it more impressive. But I'm pretty confused how Graxen was able to catch out Железny with over 2.5 seconds. It's once again situation that we have in the Spain, so Graxen just find out the pace out of nowhere. This is extremely, extremely amazing from him.
Graxen is absolutely flying, especially on 16 lap on medium tires. He is finding pace that others cannot. And I think it kind of caught Железny off guard there, because Graxen got past him into turn one, but then Железny, of course, with the help of DRS, gets past him going into turn four. And I think we're going to see a repeat of that yet again here. Because watch this, Graxen from a long way back, 0.6 of a second, but will he have enough time to get this dive done? And I think Graxen's actually going to wait out a little bit here and let Железny hold on to it and try to get him into the second DRS zone here, down the quote-unquote back straight into turn four, and gap a little bit closer here, 4.5 tenths, and we will just watch how things kind of fold out. I think Graxen's trying to pick his moves a little bit. John Meister's in the mix Baran has already closed that gap to Kula by half, so the gap 4.6 seconds, but it was just over 9 seconds, and that is impressive to see. And Syntax, is it starting to get dark?
Yes, and do you remember what I said in the qualifications?
It was something about climate, rain, Brazil, something along those lines.
Exactly. So I believe, as always, part sunny, part rainy race in Brazil. This is what I was expecting, and I will receive it. I hope, because it looks like from lap to lap it gets darker and darker. We still don't see any teardrops down right now. Kula with some problems on the third sector, so he lost a little bit more time. Baran is making an advantage on that, but John Meister is still trying to chase Graxen. Graxen found those 0.1 tenths of a second, but it's still not enough to overtake Jelazny. So he need to be patient, and he will need to find that gap just to try to attack.
Yeah, if it is supposed to rain soon, that would explain why the medium tire runners are still on their medium tires up here in the lead of Jalajny and Graxent. It would make a lot of sense to me. But, of course, Myros just pit and went on to a fresh set of mediums. So I'm wondering what's happening. And I don't know. This is a gamble in many ways, depending on who you're looking at. Because the thing with Jalajny and Graxent is these medium tires. I don't know how long they're going to last. And Wasserschwein has retired out of the race in the middle sector. And we see he is completely off with the front wheel missing. And safety car deployed right as our leaders pass the pit. Right as Jalajny passes the pit. But Graxent and John Meister were just at the right point to dive in here. And we see they are switching John Meister onto a set of mediums. Graxent onto a set of hards. So, drivers going for the one stop here. Lap 20 of 36. Our first safety car. Our third full course caution that we've had. Hula's into the pits now onto a fresh set of mediums. Tazo's into the pits onto a set of softs to finish the race. Tazo is going to be very competitive here. Going into the end of this Syntax. This is going to get very spicy.
Yeah, but it's like 16 laps until the end, so maybe Franek did exactly the same. So maybe they decided to go for the soft because they know that it will be raining. So maybe it wouldn't take that much long time until the first rains that we will see on the track. And maybe because of that, Tazo will go for the Inters. We'll see. We don't have any confirmation. I'm actually pretty mad on that because there should be more specific informations for the commentary section to us, just to get clarified and like honest opinion what is actually happening on the track and with the weather, etc. It will makes it more interesting, and even it will be a very good addition for us as a commentators.
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to say, yeah, rain is forecasted, rain is predicted, something like that. Also, when did the safety car come in? How is the field so spread out? Why did the safety car just magically dive in? What just happened?
Yeah. But look at that battle. Jelazny was able to change the tires for the softs, and it doesn't change that much because Graxen is only at 0.3 of a second in front of the Jelazny, but on the hard compound, Jelazny have a fresh pair of softs. So it looks like only they have overtaken themselves on the straight with DRS, but nothing's bigger change, to be honest. Maybe these softs will be very crucial for the strategy with Jelazny. We'll see. 15 laps to go, but it's very calm race today, I would say.
Yeah, it's been no big incidents that I've seen. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It just means I haven't seen it. And here we go. Jalajny up the inside on the soft tires. against Graxent on the hards, and Jalajne has that pass done before we even get towards the corner. And I thought Graxent was thinking about a dive into turn 1 to try to switch it back, but he didn't do it. And now it really is going to be a case of just I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and there's again sun on the track. You see that?
What?
Yep.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused, Syntax.
The weather is changing faster than the positions on the grid, actually.
Honestly, you're not wrong. And here we go with 14 laps to go. I can do math. It's still really anyone's guess who wins this race, because Graxent's in a very good spot and could still win it if Jalajne's tires die off. John Meister could get lucky and get past Graxent here on the mediums and then just have to kind of hold on to it and defend. Kula and Baron are in the mix. The grid's been very much reset with that weird safety car that just decided to call it a day and quit early.
John Meister is just attacking Graxen, and he done it Jalajne with the fastest lap of this race. Yeah, that's what you said. Because of the strategy, Graxen and John Meister is in. I would say John Meister is in the best possible spot. Dormati decided to retire, but I don't know where. I believe it was in the pit lane. But I don't think so that Jalajne will be able to drive on the soft compound until the end of this race. If he will do that, it will be from me like hats off, chapeau bas, and big applause, because my personal opinion is that maybe it's not impossible, but it will be extremely difficult.
Absolutely, but Jalajne is a very good driver, and if anyone can whisper to his tires to the end, it should be him in that McLaren yellow flag sector 1 and 2. Dormati's car just went back on track. I don't know. AI do some weird stuff here in F123, but it is perfectly okay. Jalajne going around here, and John Meister and Graxent still a very, very close battle here for P2. Currently, Graxent with a purple third sector on that last lap. So the drivers are really starting to push. Tazo and Baron pushing each other here for P5, P6. And this is getting very, very close here, Syntax. And I really don't know what battle to look at because there's so many battles through the field. Looking just up and down. Kushor and Velix have a good battle for P12 at the moment. Of course, Baron and Tazo, who are absolutely battling. And then this battle for John Meister and Graxent here in the battle for who is where on the podium.
Exactly. The rest of the grid is pretty calm. The closest battles are Velix and Kusho right now, and Buciek with Simon. Buciek just overtakes Simon's Mercedes, and he's placing himself on the P14. So both Alpines next to each other, same as Alfa Romeo, Kashti, and Tazo, but Kashti is losing 6.7 seconds to Tazo. Once again, yellow flag in the first sector. I believe it was Simon, because we can clearly see that he is losing 8 seconds behind Bartes right now. Tazo is chasing down right now Baran, and he will be overtaking before the first turn, but still wheel to wheel. Baran braked a little bit later. That's cause Tazo still stay on the P6, but right now with the DRS section, it wouldn't be a much bigger problem to attack. But we can clearly see that it actually is. So Tazo is not able to chase Baran in the first sector.
Meanwhile, while Baran is defending for his life here for P5, Graxent is on the attack against John Meister here for P2. So they are absolutely going through. The Red Bull boys are having a very, very hard day of it, trying to keep ahead of one another and trying to keep a car behind them to hold on to their positions. Of course, Baran still a little ways back from this battle. John Meister, Graxent again. John Meister around the outside here going into turn 1 against Graxent. So John Meister sets himself into P2 yet again, but DRS coming up. Will Graxent be able to take advantage of the DRS. And around the outside goes Graxon. I think Graxon may have this one done, and Graxon does. He gets the pass back done. I think he's just rehearsing that just in case it comes down to it. On the last lap, 10 to go here at this time, Syntax. And based on what we're seeing here, it seems like Graxon may be able to hold off John Meister there for the P2, but Delajne 2.5 seconds up the road. I don't know if P1 is in the cards today.
Yep, exactly. And this makes... is this situation for Graxon actually gives him a championship title or not yet? As you mentioned, he should win today with the fastest lap to achieve a championship title today, right?
Yes, I think it will knock Jack out of contention. I think it'll be Graxon and John Meister that battle going into the final race here. And watch this again. They continue to battle. Here we go. Down the inside into turn 1 goes John Meister. But we've seen him do that for like the past 3 laps. Now it's all about, can he defend that going into turn 4, Syntax?
No, it's too close. So I believe Graxon will find that spot exactly as right now. That battle between Red Bull and Mercedes reminds me of something. It's a very similar situation. Tazo with the 3 seconds time penalty for multiple warnings, but he is in front of the Baran. Baran don't have enough power to overtake, but late on the brake, wheel to wheel, very, very close, but Baran have a much better exit. He was much in much better position, but right now he is able to hold that P5. So as you said, both of Red Bull boys have a very difficult task and job to do to defend themselves as a Lions until the end of this race. And I believe we have, as I can count, 7 laps to go. Yep. No, 8, sorry.
8 laps to go, but something's happened between Graxon and John Meister. Graxon's now 7.5 seconds behind John Meister, and John Meister lost about 2 seconds to Jalajne, so I don't know what happened there with them. So now the big battle is Baran and Tazo to watch here, as Tazo is trying to use those soft tires and his pace advantage to get past Baran for P5 here.
Myros is chasing Debe right now on the main straight. He finds himself in front of Debe. Debe with the 17 old hard compound versus 9 old medium compound. So for the Myros, it was a really very easy move that we can clearly see that Debe is not able to get very close on the back of Myros, and we can see that these hards are start losing the time. Actually, we can clearly see that comparing to the very mid, I would say, mediums, mediums. Haha.
Yeah, it is a very the tire strategy. It's still confusing because all the tires they're not performing evenly, but they seem to be performing evenly at this point in the race, and it's really weird. Debe on those 17 lap old hards, though, he stuck to the one-stop strategy. Baran and Tazo again battling into turn 1, and look at that, Baran ahead of Tazo yet again, but can he hold on to it here going down the back straight into turn 4, and the gap just a 1/10 of a second. A little bit of cheeky weaving. That maybe wasn't a good decision there, but look at that, side by side goes the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo, and a little bit wide goes Tazo, but Tazo trying to hold the inside here into the right-hander of turn 6, I think it is, 6 and 7.
Yes.
And there we go. Tazo holds on to it now. So Tazo now up to P5. Baran with a little bit of a snap there, but now Baran has to set it up and get the pass done again, Syntax, with just 7 laps to go. Soon to be 6. I think this battle will continue all the way through the rest of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and I guess I was wrong, because it looks like Zelazny is cruising with these softs. 6 laps to go. Maybe it's not impossible to perform, but it's Zelazny, okay? So we know that No, even if you wouldn't do something, Żelazny will definitely do it easily. So
Yeah.
I guess I was wrong, and yeah, Tazo just lose a few milliseconds, tenths of a second behind the Baran. So I guess there was also a snap moment. Deba is fighting with Franek, so there's still something happening on the track, even that mainly the gaps between the drivers are quite settled down, but there's still some fights right now. Franek is still fighting with Debe. Debe was able to hold on in front of the Franek. We can see that Velix is trying to chase down Buciek less than a second, but if he will
Oh,
get,
Davey!
yeah, he's in the doer section. Oh no, what's happened?
Davey had a snap oversteer and overcorrected it and went into the wall.
Oh.
Very Charles Leclerc-esque. Actually in the exact same spot, yeah. And now VSC deployed. Graxon's into the pits.
Is this a Graxent moment with the softs?
It's soft tires.
I will repeat myself. I believe I've seen it somewhere. Maybe in Spain?
He's
But
proved us wrong before.
yeah,
Oh,
but
and he gets the cheap pit stop because right as he comes out of the pits, the VSC
yes.
ends. That is a cheeky move. Wow, Graxon, take a bow.
Yeah, but right now he's on the P7, 5 laps to go. Żelazny cruising, John Meister cruising. Of course, every single driver in front of the Graxon have like 11 old lap wheel compound. But do you actually believe, like truly, do you believe that Graxon will be able to fight for the podium?
I think Graxon's going to lean on his teammate a lot to try to battle up for P4. I don't think he can make up the time to Kula, but I think he can get 4th place.
Yeah, he's losing like 2.5 seconds to Kashti. Kashti, 1.6 to Tazo. Tazo is overtaking Baran right now, so, or maybe not. Baran's defending today is absolutely a masterpiece. He's able to control the pace and control the situation on the track right now. I don't even counted how many laps in front of the Tazo, but Tazo is fighting with everything that he have, but he's not able to find that perfect moment, that perfect spot just to attack, to perform attack and overtake Baran. This is an amazing fight.
I love it. My driver of the day is definitely going to be Baran because Baran has been putting up a mega job to hold on to that P4. And look who is in the mix of this P4 battle now. You go back to 7th place, it is going to be Graxon. It's a Red Bull sandwich with an Alfa Romeo filling.
Yeah, so maybe there's some change with the updates. That's fresh pair of softs, 5 laps to go at the end of the race, able to give you like a flying mode, or maybe Graxen's drunk. I don't know, too much Red Bulls right now. I don't know, but he is chasing down right now Tazo and Baran. Like, what is happening here?
Crazy pace. Absolutely
Yeah.
crazy pace is what's happening. Because watch this. Graxon is right in the mix of this battle between Baran and Tazo. Look at this. Tazo's trying to go up the inside. Baran with a snap oversteer. Rear end comes out. Graxon goes off the track trying to find a way around his teammate. And you know the radio is going to be going right now of Graxon saying, let me go, let me go, let me go. Because look at this. He's getting sandwiched right now between Tazo and his teammate. And look at that wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side battling we have there between Graxon and Tazo through the middle sector. This is going to slow them down tremendously. And Tazo goes wide and he snaps and almost goes into his teammate. Oh, and Tazo is off. Oh, very, very loose, but holds on to it. And now it is the battle of Graxon and Baran. Will the teammates play ball here, or are they fighting? But Graxon down the inside here, and it looks like Baran is just going to let him go, no questions asked. And probably going to say, hey, give me a help of the toe here, and let's get Kashti and Tazo away from me. But look at this. Kashti is a very quick driver in and of himself. Look at him. He is attacking Baran into turn 1 here, and this is going to be a very, very close battle here through these final 3 laps. Syntax, it is truly anyone's guess how this battle ends up, but Graxon is going to try to set sail.
Exactly, but I don't believe that Graxon will be able to catch out with Kula to stand on the podium. 2 laps to go, 7.6 seconds time gap between them. I don't think that that decision to change the tires was quite necessary to do, actually. Maybe he earned like 3 positions, but was it worth it?
I don't think so, honestly. That's one of those that he was already on the podium.
Yeah.
So there had to be something that he saw that made him think it was a better decision to change tires than to keep the tires on. And I'd be curious to hear what that was later on.
Exactly. But we also need to admit that Kula made an amazing performance today, from last to podium, or maybe from the P17, because there was also a Velix. But Kula also made a really, really good job today. Very good strategic decisions let him stand on the podium, I believe.
Yeah, it's...
But
Sorry.
no problem. But what is Jelazny doing is out of my mind totally. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, Jalajne is absolutely sending it. One of the Aston Martins going loose there. And also some information for you on Dormati. Dormati having a brake pedal issue, which is why we saw him spin a few times there.
Oh.
Little bit of issues with his sim racing equipment. And as we go through final lap here, Jalajne has started the final lap and is already through turn 4 as we watch Kashti and Baran battle down the main straight here, with Tazo very, very close in the loop as well. So Baran trying to fight both Alfa Romeos. I don't think he'll be able to get Kashti here, but maybe he will be able to keep Tazo behind, possibly. Either way, if he doesn't, Tazo is carrying a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So Baran should finish in P6, possibly catch Kashti and get back up into P5.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe nothing will change in the front. Baran is the closest, but right now Baran also received a 3-second time penalty. It was almost Will was standing on the apex, but it is what it is. 3 warnings cost him a 3-second time penalty, but I didn't even saw that Jelazny and John Meister just crossed the line, and Jelazny is our winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Second one is John Meister. Kula will be finishing as a third one. Beautiful race from Alpha Tauri driver right now. Graxen crossing the line P4, Kashti P5, Baran and Tazo P6 and P7.
Good top 7 through, and yeah, shortest lap on the calendar that we have, and Jalajne catching me off guard as well, because I wasn't expecting him to come across the line that quick. But very, very good dominant win from him with a 3.7 second gap. Kula on the podium there with a very, very well-earned podium with a very good drive through. And now we just wait on the rest of the grid to cross through, and we wait on Buchik, Debe, and Velix to finish across. Graxon battling his way back up into P4. And in the end, it was Kashti, Baran, Tazo in the finishing order. Baran not able to make a Fernando Alonso-esque lunge down the main straight against Kashti.
Really calm, but in the same time, a lot of action. A race we have today. Kula with the driver of the day, and from the perspective on the grid, I'm fully agree, but Baran and Tazo, my personal drivers of the day because of the battle.
Absolutely. It was great to watch the battle through, but of course, Kula getting all the way up into P3 with a very, very good podium for that AlphaTauri team, and the championship implications as well with John Meister there on P2. But of course, still I'm sure, some small conversations with the stewards to be had to figure out who truly finished where and just a couple of things here and there. The Syntax, that's a good weekend of racing, I would say. Jump across from Vegas to Brazil, run some F1, and now next week will bring us into Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. And I personally cannot wait.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned many times that you are waiting for both America's race, and there's no doubt that both of these races will be amazing events.
Absolutely. I think it is going to be a great, great way to see how things can end the season with a quick run through the USA. Of course, it's Vegas finishing our season after Coda. Should be really fun. And of course, Coda is going to be a sprint race, which makes things even more fun. But Syntax, overall, Brazil, a very, very good race. And I think at this point, we are going to get ready for some driver interviews. Going to try to get our podium together here to see what we can do and just kind of hear about how things ran, because it was watching the battles with those top three for such a long race was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. And as far as I can see, our second place, John Meister, cannot today participate in the interviews because of health issues. Uh, Maybe you know in that case he have no voice, so this is happening to John Meister, and we are wishing to you, Brad, and for the John Meister, getting back to health as fast as you can.
Absolutely. John Meister, get to feeling better. Having no voice is no fun. Especially when your whole purpose with this league is to use your voice. It proves a challenge. So definitely not a good thing to see. But we'll give our drivers just a minute here to get jumped into the commentary booth and seeing some mentions here in general that are coming through as we always do post race. Some interesting comments coming around. And
And we have our today winner, Bradley.
Zelazny, congratulations on another win in pole position racing. Taking those soft tires at the end and just absolutely running away. Kind of tell us about your race and tell us, what the plan was there. And also fill me in on what the weather was doing. Was it supposed to rain and it just didn't?
Yeah, there should be raining at the end of this race, but there is no rain. I think maybe more 5 minutes more, and there should be raining. But yeah, that's yeah, we ended before that rain. So yeah, and about race, there was no plan. uh, I think around 10 minutes before this race, I have no idea. I had no idea that I have to race today. So
Classic Żelazny move,
yeah.
I don't know where I'm racing. I don't know what I'm doing. I just have a wheel and I'm driving and I'm winning another race.
Yeah, that was like I was talking with my girlfriend, and I don't know why, but yeah, I know. Gavron was texting to me, and I think probably he sent me a photo or something about PPR, and yeah, and then I was remembering. I remember now that I have to race today. So yeah,
Oh,
that was something like that.
okay.
And,
So a very busy race you have today. I see.
yeah, and Gavron was my yeah, was
Engineer?
engineer. Yeah, was my engineer today. So he told me, tell me, yeah, You know.
Żelazny. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
need to ask.
Yeah. What strategy? What strategy? I
Exactly.
should choose and everything else. So yeah.
I
So
want to ask
but,
because you decided to go for the softs. That pit that you done, it was like 0.3 of a second behind Graxent. So for you, it was like ideal pit stop.
Mhm.
Everything went perfect. But why you decided to go for the softs, nor or mediums?
Because Opmar was at this strategy in some race, and Gavron told me before this race that meds to softs are one of the best strategy, and yeah, and that's why I choose softs today.
Being honest, I wasn't believing that you will be able to drive until the end of this race on this soft compound, but somehow you proved that I was wrong. So I'm giving back my apologies that I doubted in you.
Okay.
And once again, you proved that you can make even a commentators wrong, that they think they know what they are saying, but clearly not.
Okay.
And Żelazny, we can see you from week to week much more time than when you decided to go on your break. Can you tell us that are you will be racing until the end of this season? Because we still have a few races left.
How many races left? We have.
You, me, and Bradley have actually right now 2 races left: USA, Austin, and Las Vegas.
Austin is Las Vegas. Okay. I think I will be there. Yeah, I will be there for these 2 races. So I think, yeah, because yeah, I know this season was like I was in 1 week and another I was absent. But I think, yeah, in next week I will be there for sure. But yeah, I think another 2 races I will be there. I think.
Okay, this is a really good information
Yeah,
for us.
because before I was yeah I was in
In
other city,
Polish.
in other city
Okay.
from for co do
For a
tygodnia.
trip. Okay. On the every 2 weeks you are going
Yeah.
somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I
Yeah,
understand.
and yeah, and that's
Now
why
it changed.
yeah, and that now it changed, and I will be there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Żelazny, 2 races left, both in USA. So Bradley is almost jumping on his chair right now because that's why he is so happy. He couldn't imagine a better finish of the season. But I know that you are feeling very good, very comfortable on Kota. But what about Las Vegas? This track is very tricky.
Oh
And
boy.
as far as I know, many drivers reacting as you right now on this track.
Yeah, because I think this layout is like shit. Yeah, I don't like this track. To be honest, I think that will be. I think my pace will be a trash, and yeah, I think that will be good for me. But I think Kota, yeah, I like Kota, but I know I don't have a pace there. I had one race in this game, league race, yeah, in this game, and that was bad. Yeah, I think, yeah, I think these races will be tough for me, but we will see what I can do.
Okay. Żelazny, shortly, your predictions for your position on the both tracks.
P5?
In both.
In both.
Okay, so we know that. I want to ask about the future because we are getting to the end of the season,
Yeah.
would you be fully participating in the next season, or any breaks, or maybe commentary section is waiting for you?
Oh, with my English, I think it's a
Of
bad
course,
idea.
Zelazny.
Oh man,
Trust me, Bradley is the best teacher of English, and my
Yeah,
English was even worse at the beginning when I was starting. So
Okay. I think I will remember that.
we had some lessons from English, right, Bradley?
Yeah, I've given some lessons in English. I've received some lessons in English. It's been fun.
Okay. I think I will be there in the next season, but you know, it's hard to say. I will be for 100% races.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I will be participating in the
Mhm.
next season, but I don't know for how many races I will be
I see.
racing. So I think I will be there. But okay, I remember that there is a proposal to commentate the next season.
I see. Okay,
Okay.
Żelazny, last question, and shortly from me, because as I said, we are closing to the end of the season. Right now, fight between Graxent and John Meister will be the biggest battle for championship.
Okay. I need to
Because
check
yeah, Jack
classification.
didn't participate in today's race, so I believe he's out of the points right now, so he wouldn't be able to catch out the Graxen and John Meister. But Graxen is still leading. There's I think like 20 points gap. Do you think John Meister will be able to win this championship, or Graxen will take the lead and will finish it until the end?
I think John should win this league. I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking for this standings, driver standings. But
Mhm.
I don't know where is it. Just okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found it. Yeah. Okay, but this after Mexico, and Jackson is leading now, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. But John was today second. Jackson, I don't know,
Was fourth.
fourth. Okay. So 6 points.
Something like this.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
You don't have to make a deep analysis of
okay.
the
I think.
season. Just
Okay.
shortly. Do
Shortly,
you think
okay.
that? Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
but
go
I
to the
think-
finish.
I think. Okay. Now I see it, but okay. So I will change my decision. I think Graxent will win this competitive, and he will be a champion in this season.
Okay.
I think, yeah, Graxent is very strong driver, and he has a strong pace. And I think these 2 races left. Yeah, I think he will be. Mm, well prepared.
Mhm.
So I think Accent will win this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm out of the questions. Maybe you, Bradley, but shortly from the Żelazny, because
It's hard.
I don't have any questions. So good race, Shalajne. Congrats on the win, and I look forward to seeing you back on track.
Okay, thank you guys. That's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much,
So
as always.
see you soon, maybe.
See you.
All right, Syntax. I think that is where we can call things for our Sunday afternoon. Just 2 more races to go here in this season.
Yeah, 2 more races. Austin in USA and Las Vegas. 26th of November and 5th of December. Very big events, very big fight is coming between John Meister and Graxand, and I cannot wait until the end to see who will win actually.
Well, we heard from Jalajne, he went back and forth himself, so it's hard to know. Only one way to find out, and that is to tune in for the next 2 weeks to see how the championship battle rounds out during our little jaunt across the Americas. But as always, on behalf of Syntax, my name is Brad, and that has been your Sunday evening with Pole Position Racing, and we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Thank you. Bye.